Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome to the vlog. I hope the start of your day is truly incredible. I am back to this enclosure. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, about what I was going to do with this enclosure, and you guys gave me some good suggestions. I mentioned an animal that I was thinking about putting in. Well, guess what? Today we have a shipment of animals that is coming in that will eventually live in this enclosure. And when I think of this enclosure, I think of the rainforest. I mean, I realize it's got to be planted out a ton, but this is kind of that rainforest feel, that backdrop that I can really see with amazing amounts of plants. This is going to be a spectacular enclosure. But for now, we have to go ahead and unbox and show you the animals that will eventually live in here. And here it is. Of course, my friends on Underground that sent me the caiman lizard yesterday sent this next box. And this is some animals that actually I asked you guys about, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and you said, yes, you should definitely get them. So I'm going to show you how amazing they are. I think these are animals I actually worked with when I was like 20 years old and actually even produced them, which was really cool. And oh my god, these things are so dope. Oh my god, they're crazy fast. So I'm going to try to open this and see if I can hold one, but there's a chance I might be running around trying to chase this thing around. Let's see. Whoa, come on little buddy, come up, up. And of course right here, these are little green basilisks, which are little Puma Frogs. These are what they call the Jesus lizards, the one that can run across the water. I mean, these things are so absolutely incredible. We got a male and two females, but listen guys, you saw that that huge enclosure there was probably going to be a little bit big. So we're going to come back to that and probably plant it out within the next week or two and start getting things kind of growing out so these guys can eventually move into that. For now, they would probably get lost in there, to be honest with you. And I wanted to start with young animals, because you guys know how I feel about that. I want young animals to grow in, to be habituated, and look at how chill this is. I was expecting this thing to run away, so I'm not sure that we'll get these guys to a point where you can handle them or not, because they're a little bit skittish, but we might, you know, I'm not sure. The important thing is to have this really good kind of planted out enclosures where they feel really comfortable. That way they're not skittish, but when they're babies, we can maybe habituate them and socialize them to be this docile. That is incredible. This is a little girl. Of course, the boys have that big sail, right? They get that huge sail that looks so prehistoric and so amazing. They also go through that oxygenic change as well, where they're going to be bright green with some white blotching on them. Oh my god, these guys are so absolutely incredible. So I couldn't be more excited. Of course, we got this one little female here, and she's like, no, don't put me back. Oh my god. As a matter of fact, I'm going to keep her out for a second. This is actually the boy right here. Let's see if the boy is as chill as this girl is here. Whoop. There you go, baby. And you can start to see right on the back right there is the little plume, why they call them Puma Frogs, is that little kind of start of the ridge that will go all the way from here, all the way down the body into the tail. As adults, this male is literally one of the coolest looking lizards on the planet, in my opinion. The females do get a little bit of a plume, but not nearly as much. It's still nonetheless a pair of them here, and then we got one other little female here. We figured we'd just put together a nice little group and see what happens regardless. Let's go ahead and look at the cage that we actually are going to put these guys into right now. And you got to remember, these are very rainforest animals, so we want high humidity in these things. Again, lots of plants, lots of misters. When we actually have this bigger enclosure, we're going to put automatic misters on them constantly. For now, we'll just have to mist them down 2-3 times a day. Nevertheless, I'm surprised they're so chill. I never expected them to just be sitting in my hand like this. This gives me hope that we'll be able to really get these guys socialized. So there you guys have it. You guys said it was a good idea. I got them. I can't thank the guys from Underground enough. Let's go ahead and set this enclosure up. So obviously that large enclosure is going to be too big for those small lizards right now, because they would get lost. I think they would enjoy it, don't get me wrong. I'm more worried about them finding food, right? We would maybe have to put so many crickets and roaches in there for them to find it. So you really want to start smaller, get them a little bit established, and then move them up once they're really established, especially if we can maybe even start feeding them off of tongs, because then it doesn't matter if they're small. They can be in that large enclosure and we can feed them off of tongs and they get the right amount of food intake, right? But for now, we're going to go back to this caiman lizard cage, the kind of utility cage that we're using. Now, the thing is you definitely want the humidity to be up. So I'm going to have a nice big layer of our coconut bedding right down here, the Reptile Prime bedding. We'll probably go with ABG or a bioactive in the other cage, to be honest with you, because we want to plant a lot of live plants. But this is a temporary, for a month, maybe 2 months at the very most. But one of the things we're going to want is a lot of climbing branches. We're going to want some foliage in here the best we can so that they feel really comfortable. And again, a nice water dish and just get this thing to where they have lots of areas to run. The basking spot's going to be over here, the cool spot's going to be over here, so as many vines and kind of things that they can climb on, the more comfortable they're going to feel. So now it's about creativity. Let's just go ahead and see what we can do.
What is going on, guys? So I've got me and my buddy Karma here, and I'll tell you right now, man, I love chameleons. They really are some of the coolest animals. First lizards I ever really got into, never really bought and kept, but the first ones I ever saw at a pet store, chameleon right here. And but we're not actually here to talk about this guy. We are here to talk about this guy. So this right here is actually Guacamole, our Meller's chameleon. Trioceros melleri. Look at this guy. Like, he looks like an actual prehistoric animal. I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the chameleon attributes. Now, they don't necessarily change colors, they just simply shade. They go darker or lighter. They have all these little crystals in their body called chromatophores. Now, these chromatophores, they move around, they'll reflect light from one way or the other, and that actually collects that sort of pigment and shows what you're seeing here right now. As you can see right there, those claws, man, I'm telling you, it actually feels like a little 3 or 4 year old kid holding on to my wrist, just like gripping real hard. And those claws, they will really get into your hand with it. Like, you can actually see right there, you see how hard. The actual claws will actually hold on to their branches and hold on to anything they did. So if like a wind were to come by or anything like that, they're not falling off. One more fascinating feature about chameleons is their eyes, and one of the ones that points out the most besides the color change. However, when you really look at it, like the way they move their eyes, they look you right in your pupil. They look at you right in your face. These animals, they don't need to turn their head towards you. They just simply need to get that eye towards you. There's not a whole lot of blind spots on that bad boy. He knows what's going on around him, everywhere around him. That tongue, actually, it's really cool because it doesn't do exactly what you think it is. We all see a tongue color like that, and it goes out and grabs something, right? But believe it or not, the way their tongue is structured, not like that at all. It actually kind of catapults. It goes flop. Like that. It's so fast. It is within a fraction of a second. You just don't, like, that's the reason why it looks like a straight line comes out. There's so much more going on there that we don't see because it's happening so quickly. If it's like a 12, 13 centimeter long tongue, they almost, like, that means out to here, twice the length of their body. And like for an animal that's so large, that's a lot of tongue, man. That is a lot. You must be quite the linguist.
And I think that's going to be good enough for them. In a perfect world, we'd probably do live plants, but to be honest with you, right now, nurseries are pretty much shut down or just opening up, and there's not a lot of availability of live plants. So I did what I could possibly do. I think that there's lots of foliage in here. They can actually climb on tons of different stuff. They can get really close to the heat spot. They can get away from it. There's all kinds of stuff, and that's going to make them feel real secure. I think this is a great start, right? You know, when we get them into the bigger cage, there'll be a little bit more open areas here and there, but I think for now this is going to make them feel real comfortable, hopefully get them settled in where we can actually start socializing them and get them used to us feeding them and stuff like that. So all we have to do now is get a water bowl in here, release them in here, and then give them a nice spray down, because again, with this enclosure, because you want high humidity, probably 2 or 3 times a day we're going to be misting these down. Again, the bigger enclosure we'll actually put on an automatic mister so that we don't have to do it ourselves, do that 4 times a day. So let's go ahead and get these little monkeys in here. All right, so it's time to put these guys in here and see how they're gonna actually like it. So I'm gonna take this one female first and just slowly open this up. We'll just let her go in there and run around and see what's going on, see what she does. These guys are definitely lightning quick, so I'm going to put the male and the other female in here that I just put in this box really quick. Hopefully they won't run away real quick when I open this up. Oh. Man, are they quick. I'm going to just put that right up there. Oh man, they look so cool in here. This is the boy. I'm just going to put him right here. Oh, look at, oh my gosh. They are unbelievably lightning quick. These guys are something else. I guess that's why they call them Jesus lizards, right? But look at how cool they look in there. I mean, it's amazing. They literally match the coloration of the branches and then match the coloration of the foliage. I mean, those things look ridiculous. And like I said, once they go through that octogenic change and turn bright green, Oh my God, some of the most beautiful lizards on the planet. So I think they're gonna really love this because again, they have all kinds of options in here. Way up high, he's right by the heat light right there, but they can get down and get over here, get in the back crawl. You can see that one just jumped right back on the ledge over there. This one's climbing up the rock face over here. I mean, this is gonna be perfect for them. Again, mist it down, keep the humidity high. These guys will eat all kinds of different bugs, so we're gonna vary their diet like we do all our lizards. So there we are. We got some really cool basilisk lizards, and eventually they're gonna go into that large enclosure and look so dope. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. So are you excited that we got some Jesus lizards? I know I sure am. Onto the Kluivert eggs for the day. This is actually an albino heifer ghost scaleless corn snake right here. So we'll see if she has some good eggs in here. Yep, they look pretty good. And she's actually bred to this male right here, which is a beautiful blizzard male right here. So we're definitely gonna get albinos, possibly heifer snow and blizzard and scaleless and all kinds of other potential options here. These are pretty big eggs, so there doesn't seem to be a lot of them, which is a little bit unusual for a relatively big girl. These are just like twice the size eggs you would normally see. And of course, usually when you get twice the size eggs, you get half as many eggs, of course. So we only have 2, 4, 6, 7 eggs, which is a pretty small clutch. Typically a corn snake's gonna have, 12 to maybe 18 eggs. So, and she looks like a beautiful girl here. I mean, look at how gorgeous she is. That's not just a normal albino. That almost looks more like a candy cane corn, to be honest with you. So we'll get Mama back in here. We'll get her some water, get her all cleaned up and stuff like that. So that is the first clutch. Let's move on. Speedy, I do not need your help when it comes to collecting eggs, He always wants to help out. He's a good puppy. This next clutch is exciting. This is the first Pueblan milk snake clutch of the year, and you can see she's already out of her egg box, meaning she's completely done. And this is a Halloween Pueblan milk snake right here. Basically just meaning that there's not as much of the red pigment, so it's mainly like black and orange. This one does have some red, and it's a polygenic trait, just meaning that every time you breed them, you breed for the most orange and the reduction of red, and eventually you can get a solid black and orange snake, hence the name Halloween Pueblan. Let's see what she has. Oh my God, a beautiful clutch. And it's always nice that a first clutch of a species like a Pueblan has good eggs. It usually tells you there's a good chance that the rest of that colony is gonna do pretty well. This is a beautiful clutch right here for sure. Quite a bit of eggs for a milk snake. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 eggs. I mean, that's a good way to start the year for Pueblans. I literally sometimes forget that we even have this little party room. It's such an amazing place, and of course we built it for birthday parties and events, and you guys know that we're not open right now, but it's such a cool place. I need to spend some more time in here just relaxing a little bit because it's just so tranquil, but I know we'll be open relatively soon. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, maybe we can start doing private tours and small events here, maybe by the end of May. That's what my hope is, and maybe sometime if everything goes well in June, we can do some sort of opening. I've been thinking a lot about how we're gonna actually do that to keep everyone safe. So I'll do a vlog 100% about what I'm thinking about in the next week or so. But for the meantime, I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy this this beautiful room that literally is never being used now. So I can't wait till there's tons of people in here the way I intended it. Just a quick checkup. These guys are unbelievably cute. I am over the moon happy. I haven't had basilisks since I was a kid. I am so excited to see these things grow. It's amazing. And by the way, if you enjoyed this, here's an entire playlist of unboxing stuff if you so choose. If you want, you can actually show my podcast some love checking in. You can do that right over here. On this side, you can subscribe to this vlog channel if you don't mind. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you guys tomorrow.